Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video on my YouTube channel. So this evening I'm gonna go to a very special restaurant by the Fraser River. Crossing the Fraser River now through the Dinsmore Bridge. So on the other side of the bridge is the Vancouver International Airport on Sea Island. Yeah, so the airport is right down there. And I'm actually going to the edge of the airport area. And we're turning into this little road right beside the Fraser River. Here is the restaurant. It's sharing the same building with the Sea Airplane Company. And it looks like there's no empty spot in the parking lot, so we had to find somewhere else close by. Yeah, so this is the Flying Beaver restaurant right by the Fraser River. Yeah, so there's a 20-minute wait for a table while waiting. I just wandered outside and look at this family of geese. Beautiful view of the Fraser River and around. So I ordered a chicken burger with yam fries and lemonade. Before eating, of course, I'm going to sketch my food and drink. So I'm going to begin drawing the biggest shape, which is the contour outline of the plate, starting with the left side. The right side is mostly interrupted by the burger, starting with the top of the burger bun, and the lettuce and other veggies, using these organic razor lines to define the lettuce leaves, and then onion slices. This is like a little jar of dipping sauce for the yam fries, more slices of onion. Yeah, so just getting these beautiful shapes of the ingredients in, and then before finishing the bottom of the burger bun, I want to start drawing these yam fries, covering up most of the burger's bottom part. Yeah, just adding some accentuation and the stick holding the burger buns together and all the ingredients. So these sticks of yam fries are in the three-dimensional shape of very long rectangular prisms. So I'm drawing these sticks, not really being covered up by other ones. On top, the longest one going diagonal and the ones below it. Some more sticks laying in various angles. Pay attention to the overlappings and get the ones on top first and then the one below.
Everything's okay? Everything's good?
It's nice.
Beautiful.
Draw first.
Oh, love that. So cool.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, don't worry. Don't worry.
All good.
Yeah, so the servers at the restaurant is actually they're very nice people. And just continue to draw my overlappings of fries. Yeah. Yeah, so just drawing the one on top first and then the other ones tucked underneath. That's my technique of drawing a big overlapping pile of fries. Accentuate on some of these triangular gaps and also shadows of these fries laying on top of each other. Accentuation is also pretty important when sketching a pile of things. Drawing the brim of the plate. And now I'm ready to draw my lemonade, starting with the ellipse shape of the opening, the straw on top, the body part of the glass, the liquid line, and the straw and the ice cubes. And the rest of the straw and some ice cubes looking very loose and blurry through the liquid. Final details and accentuations. That's pretty much it for the drawing. It took me about 7 minutes to draw. Now I'm ready to use my Mungyo watercolors as usual and a rag to clean my brushes. I'm just holding this wet rag inside the Ziploc bag and my two Holbein water brushes, very trusty. So I'm starting to wet the entire area of the burgers and fries and the lemonade with clear water, putting on yellow first as usual. This is a mix of lemon yellow and yellow ochre. Is the value of the yellow ochre is more heavy for the burger bun and the yam fries. Yeah, first layer. Mixing a little bit of orange into the yellow ochre for the yam fries because it has a darker tone of orange yellow. Grabbing some leftover bluish gray to shade the left side of the lemonade because the windows are on the right. And I'm going to continue adding this yellow tint for very much all of these items on the plate. Yeah, so from my experience, a lot of food and drink items, the first layer is a mellow yellow ochre. And then grabbing some leftover yellow-green to paint the lettuce leaves, nice and loose. Second layer now, orange-brown, simply orange mixed with burnt sienna for the left side of the burger bun, as well as partially of these yam fries, allowing some value transition to happen by not painting too solidly. And some pink purple for the skin of the onions. And the chicken patty is kind of purplish brown because it's seasoned with all kind of colorful spices, using viridian green to shade the lettuce leaves. So as we're layering with watercolors, the next layer on top it should be having less water mixed into the paint. As you can see, adding some heavier brush marks for the burger bun's left side, as well as these yam fries. The bottom side of these thin rectangular prisms are shaded. So pretty intense brown for the bottom side of these slices, as well as the left side of the sauce, and some heavier browns for the chicken patty, vibrant red for the tomato slice, and shade the left side of the lemonade a little bit more heavily so there's higher contrast. The plate is white, but it's not perfect paper white. It's slightly shaded.
I was gonna go out for a smoke, but that's so much cooler than anything else. That's rad.
I can just go around, but I want like.
I'm gonna go out the back. It's all good. I don't want to interrupt. That's so cool.
So much. Thank you.
Now I want a bit of value transition for the shade of the plate using a slightly heavier bluish gray. And for the glass as well, shadow is the same recipe of cobalt blue mixed with royal purple, diluted with a lot of water first, and then some more lively, even greens for the most intense part of the shadow touching the plate's edge. Shade the black straw as well. The right side facing the window has a perfect white highlight for the straw. And yeah, that's very much it. Just doing some final polish and knowing my system so I'm not overpainting. So usually everything should not be shaded over 50%. And that's it. It's time to let it go. Here's the look of my finished sketch. Took me about 15 minutes in total to draw and paint. The restaurant is not too busy. It's a little more quiet now. Okay, so before it gets dark, I'm going to sketch the sunset sky outside the windows. Okay, so I'm going to begin with my cute little foreground element, the booth, where the sea airplane's check-in area is. So the roof is a little pyramid shape that I can see two triangles and this lovely Canadian flag on top. The body part of the booth is a cube that I can see two sides. And then the railing area, or the gangway, the two windows that are very much like eyes, looking nicely animated. And then the wooden legs of the booth. And then some more wooden legs and the edge of the rock pile touching the water. And then moving my drawing movement to the left side, the gangway and the little platform where people are ready to board their sea airplanes. And here is a little sea airplane sleeping by the quayside. Some more little structures. Now I'm drawing this horizontal line defining the bottom of the land on the other side of the river and the platform of grass and bushes on top of the grass. Some little houses in between the foliage on the other side. And overall, this is a pretty easy and fun little landscape to sketch. The painting part is going to be even more exciting. Just finished drawing the last bit of foliage on the right hand side. Accentuate a little bit. And now I think I want to suggest a bit of water on the bottom of these wooden lakes and structures. So that's it for the drawing part. Now I'm ready to have fun painting watercolors very spontaneously before the beautiful colors in the sky fade away. I think I have about 10 to 15 minutes before the colors fade away. Over the past 10 years, I've been practicing painting sunset skies numerous times, so I'm pretty confident in tackling this one, which is pretty similar to the many skies that I painted before. Starting with wetting the sky area with clear water, and putting on these long and loose brushstrokes of lemon yellow, and then a little bit diluted orange on the bottom, merging with a lemon yellow. Continuing with more long horizontal brush marks of diluted magenta, diffusing it a little bit to merge with the orange above, and so enjoying this process of diffusing these colors together. So these colors are very transparent, which means that they're very diluted with clear water. If the yellows and oranges and red are way too solid, the sky's gonna look kind of fake. And then continuing with the blue part of the sky, again, this cerulean blue is also pretty diluted with clear water, a mellow blue. So in my opinion, if you want your sky to look a bit more realistic, I think it's better to dilute the colors a bit more with clear water rather than using very solid colors. Only partially that you can use a bit of solid colors to accentuate those strong tones of yellows, orange, and in this case, it's actually the magenta streak close to the horizon that's pretty strong. I'm going to keep the sky really simple, loose, and with a sense of free flow without overworking. In other words, over rubbing the colors together. Now I'm ready to paint this reflective color of diluted lemon yellow for the surface of water. That's the very first layer of the surface of water. It needs to be containing the reflective colors of this surroundings, usually the sky above it. So now I want to wait for the reflective yellow on the surface of water to dry. While waiting, I'm going to paint the foliage. So blending yellow green and viridian green together. Yeah, so these trees are very much like silhouette right now around sundown. Yeah, pretty simple. Little dark green silhouettes blooming a little bit with the sky is fine. And this tiny edge of the land. Okay, so now I'm ready to work on the second layer for the surface of the river. I'm still going to use a pretty diluted turquoise color. It's a mix of viridian green and a little bit of cobalt blue in the diluted version. Using thick and medium brush marks, leaving some areas of the reflective yellow unpainted. Because this wash is so transparent, you can still feel the shiny yellow below this wash. And this bluish tone is a reflection of the sky, the blue sky area, as well as the perhaps the foliage around. Now I'm ready to shade this stripe of cloud with a purplish gray. It's the mix of cobalt blue and royal purple and a little bit of green. The colors and tones of the sky is changing every minute. Now I want to add a stronger layer, in other words, a more concentrated yellow-orange, and rub it gently upwards so it's diffusing with a blue, nice and smooth. Now I'm ready to paint the ticketing or the check-in booth. It's actually a white building, but at this hour, it's actually shaded with gray. And I'm using a lively purplish gray. The roof is a teal color. Yeah, so a lot of white objects around sunset that could be intensely shaded with a dark gray. And painting the Canadian flag with pretty much pure red and shaded with a little bit purple on the bottom. So it's really three-dimensional. It's flapping, and the wind shade the front side of the pyramid shape of the roof of the booth with a more intense turquoise. The other side is getting more sunlight. The sunset is actually on the right side of this landscape. Okay, so now I'm ready to come back to paint the water again, adding a stronger, more saturated yellow, the reflection of the yellow stripe of the sky landing there. And now it's time to paint the rhythm, these beautiful ripples in the foreground and in the middle ground using a more concentrated blue turquoise. So I'm doing wet into moist. So these brush marks are kind of fading away, which is really nice. And each brush mark is of a slight different value of blue turquoise. So the water, the ripples, it looks more natural this way. They don't look super sharp. And the ripples really close up, yeah, they could look a little sharper and more intense compared to the ones far away. As you can see, I'm just rendering these ones closer up using actually a purplish blue by mixing a little bit of royal purple into the blue turquoise. There's also lovely shadows, a small bit of ripples under the dock and the sea airplane. Yeah, reflections from these objects merging with the ripples. And just having fun getting these lively curves in, making sure not to overpaint. These ripples, they're not all over the surface of the water, just maybe about 50%. And yeah, time is running and it's getting dark very soon. I'm working fast, but not rushed. And these foliage, they're around the horizon line. I think they need to be more intensified. They're close to black silhouettes, but they're actually pretty intense greens containing very minimal amount of water, mostly viridian green mixed with cobalt blue. And I do want to keep these trees looking a little bit fuzzy. They're not super sharp silhouettes because they're pretty far away. Things far away, they could look a little blurred out. They don't have to be super sharply defined. Adding a bit of a bluish shade for the red cloud closer to the horizon. Nice and gentle. Yeah, so many customers are now leaving the restaurant. It's getting much quieter now and it's dark in just a few more minutes, I think. Just getting these last bit of ripples in. Some stronger toned blue turquoise there, but not overpainting. Still very much controlling my brush marks. Not overdoing it. Shade the boost with one more layer on the left side. Again, the right side of the little boost is facing the sunset, the sun. Yeah. Now I want to add a stronger tone of red for the stripe closer to the horizon. Yeah, so this is a much more concentrated red. Putting it on and diffusing it very gently with a bit of purple above it. So again, the sky is changing pretty much every minute around sunset. Rubbing very gently, so I'm not taking away the colors, but rubbing them together. And the super diluted bluish shade over the yellow stripe in a very subtle way. So here is a look of my finished sketch of the sunset sky over Fraser River in Richmond on Sea Island. Alright, so that's very much it for today's video. It's pretty much all dark outside now. The last light of the day is still very beautiful out here. So thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. If you like it, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates, and I will see you around in the next tutorial and vlog video very soon. Yeah, there's an airplane ready to land. Beautiful reflections over Fraser River of the apartment buildings of Richmond. So bye everyone and take care. See you again soon.